Hey, what's up, you guys? I am rushing to get ready so I can do the far drive to the Oppenheimer screening. I got invited to it for an advanced reading, and I'm hesitant, y'all. I love Christopher Nolan. I'm a fangirl, just like any other film fan, but typically, historical war movies are not my subgenre, but because it's Chris Nolan, I'm gonna go check this out. Like, I have to see what the visuals look like and whatnot. The 3 hour runtime scares me. To tell you the truth, this is after a long day at work. I'm gonna go ahead and watch a movie that's 3 hours long. That's a lot. But hopefully it is engrossing enough and compelling enough and beautiful enough for me to stay awake and watch this movie. I, like many other people, I'm pretty sure Inception is his best film. Maybe, I don't know if that's controversial. So I feel like ever since then, he has not been able to beat that. But he's very special because every time that I hear he's working on something, I make sure to pay attention and to know that so that I can go out and check out his next project. So not many directors have that sort of caliber, I don't think. I think like Jordan Peele is like that. Even M. Night Shyamalan, funny enough, because I think we can all agree that many of his movies maybe are not great, but he's very unique and he has a very specific vision. So you want to know, what is this guy making next? So I feel like Chris Nolan is also in that same sphere. So we're going to go and I'm going to tell you guys later what I thought of Oppenheimer. I did it again. I forgot to do an intro. If you're new here and you've never been here before, I'm Melissa. And yeah, let's go. Let's go watch Oppenheimer. Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm back. Usually I have some more B-roll, but I was booking it. This place is super far from where I live, and I did it all so I can rush to see Oppenheimer before you guys to let you know if you should watch. But you know, everybody has their own taste. As I told you guys prior, historical war stuff is just usually not my thing. It just doesn't really pull me into the topic that much. Having said that, though, it's Christopher Nolan, so in this movie you will get amazing, beautiful filmmaking. The cinematography I thought was unexpected. When you're thinking of Oppenheimer, you're thinking of the atomic bomb movie, and he films certain scenes in a very unexpected way, in a way that we've seen different from other types of films, and I do really appreciate it for that, because he could have gone a very obvious way of filming those scenes, but we get it. He kind of flips the script on that, and I don't want to spoil too much because I want you guys to experience it for yourselves. But I think once you watch it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I think a lot of times where Christopher Nolan kind of falls short is some of the more emotional touch points. There are certain characters in this story that I question why there was certain screen time for them, and a little bit of a spoiler here because I can't really dive more into that reasoning without saying what I'm about to say. But there is a character that Florence Pugh plays. She's not in it all that much. It is a very long movie, and by the time that relationship sort of ends between those two characters, Florence Pugh's character and also Oppenheimer, it leaves me questioning, well, why did that relationship matter? And on the one hand, it's something that lives out its life, and Oppenheimer has to kind of go through that and kind of deal with it, and then he has to keep on pushing and moving on to the next thing. But I think because we just didn't really get the chance to see that breathe more, so therefore the emotional impact of that for me, I did not feel. And so I kind of felt like the movie needed that to anchor it, to make me feel those emotional touch points. I'm happy to see Cillian Murphy getting a lead role finally. And I say that because he and Christopher Nolan have worked a ton together over the years. I think now maybe it's been 10, 15 years, and he finally has a lead role. And I think he does a pretty good job. I think he did a good performance. And I almost forgot to mention, nobody told me that there were so many cameos from so many well-known actors. There are so many actors in this movie that I didn't even know. It's going to feel like you're playing Where's Waldo? Like, when is the next cameo from this very, very familiar face coming next? And sometimes I felt like that was a little bit distracting. Like, it's almost as if Chris Nolan really wanted these really well-known faces to be in it for about 2 to 5 seconds, or these really well-known actors had really great agents that got them to be on the next Christopher Nolan movie, because damn, there's so many. After seeing Josh Hartnett have a sort of a renaissance in the Black Mirror season 6, I was happy to see him and make a moment out of this movie for himself. I feel like he's a better actor than I remembered. Maybe because in my mind I have mostly like teen films in my head, because that's when, you know, the Josh Hartnett love was real. But, you know, he's doing his thing on Black Mirror, he's doing his thing in this. I didn't hate it. Another standout for me was Emily Blunt. I do think at times she kind of falls under the playing the wife, and even though that's very obvious because that is her role, but what I mean by that is in a lot of sort of biopic movies where the men are the main characters and then there's like the wife or the girlfriend, those characters a lot of the times feel like they're just there to kind of like hold up the wall. And because this is 3 hours long, there are times where her character does feel that way, but then she makes a comeback as we're getting more and more into the story. So I appreciated that, but it felt very imbalanced because of that. Now, on a scale from 1 to 5 stars, because you guys know, if you don't know, I use the 1 to 5 star rating scale, I will give this a 3 on my personal rating scale. The story is not my favorite, and I knew that going in, but sometimes some things can surprise me, so I still wanted to go in and watch the new Christopher Nolan movie, because why not? So the story was a bit lackluster for me, but it had some good performances and the visuals are amazing. And I almost forgot to mention that even though it is long, I do like how he paced this movie. I think what helps to pace it is the music and also the rhythm of how the characters are talking to each other, and also how it's edited. So those are A+ there. I think this will get a lot of technical love during the award show season. So definitely a great achievement in filmmaking. I'm still a Nolan fangirl. I will still go out and watch all of his movies. So the question is if I would recommend for you to watch this. I 100% recommend for you to watch this. I think it is still such a feat in filmmaking and also acting for certain characters. So I definitely recommend for you guys to watch this. And then when you do, and if you realize the scenes that I'm talking about that I didn't want to spoil for you earlier, let me know in the comments what you thought of the filmmaking. I cannot wait to hear more thoughts about that, because I thought it was different and it was unexpected for sure. Thank you guys so much for coming to the movies with me. I highly appreciate it. I will be doing another out of the theater reaction very, very, very soon for a horror movie. It is a movie that is the talk of the town in the horror community, so I'm super excited to see. Hopefully I can see it. It's not 100% sure yet, but hopefully I can see it, and you have that to look out for. And I'll catch you guys next time.